25 on the season. 4 home runs total in the NCAA tournament. In on the hands, the only man on the right side of the infield was Stokely, who puts it away. And quickly, there are 2 down here in the first.
Something to watch here, and especially inning by inning, both head coaches will have heightened awareness of what their young starters' stuff looks like, and also the command and control. And Scott Forbes telling me before the game, he said, hey, you know, all the confidence in the world in this young right-hander, and a big reason why the game plan played out the way that it did. Eric, Friday, Saturday, they wanted to save this big gun for a potential Sunday start.
Kept Lynch in their back pocket, knowing that there could be a moment here today. Meanwhile, getting loose for Arizona. Just a couple of last moments before freshman Smith Bailey will head to the mound. Now back by Mason White, 0-2 to the number 3 hitter for Arizona. Leading the team with 19 home runs and with 70 runs batted in. 2 for 8 in the Super. One and two.
After an 0 for 4 right in game 1, was critical in the middle of the lineup with a 2 for 4 performance yesterday. Found his way on base 3 times.
Hitting .375 in the NCAA tournament, battling against Lynch here with 2 down in the first. Beautiful day, 84 degrees, sunshine. There is the threats of some storminess later in the day. No, I'm here with, I have facts, my friend, facts. We're in North Carolina in June. It happens. Happened yesterday, thankfully, about an hour or so after the game ended, a storm moved through.
This is one of those situations, too, from a humidity standpoint for a pitcher, man. It won't take long for you to get loose, and more importantly, stay loose here in some of the biggest innings of the year.
Fly ball out of play. The heat has been part of the story here because we all know that Arizona plays in the heat out in Tucson, but it is, as the saying goes, a dry heat. The humidity has been a big factor here. We've seen some dehydration issues, trying to stay ahead of it, and we'll see how it impacts the freshman when he's on the mound. And this is for a ball. I mean, the forecasted high today is 101 in Tucson, but it's a different heat. It's very humid here in Chapel Hill, and that's been something to keep tabs on. Swung on and missed. 1-2-3 inning for the freshman, Ryan Lynch. We'll see the freshman for Arizona, Smith Bailey, take the hill next. Ball 1 to Kepley, the junior center fielder. 7 hits in the NCAA tournament, hitting .280, now .291 for the season. There's a strike, and it's 1-1.
He has been the little engine that could for the top of this Carolina offense. How about for a .454 on base percentage, leading the team, and also reaching in 23 leadoff at bats coming into this postseason.
Fly ball hit to left. Little breeze blowing out towards the left field foul pole. That's where Breifogel puts it away. Kepley is retired. 1 down here in the Carolina first.
Great to see 2 young freshmen get not only the vote of confidence from their respective head coaches, but it feels like guys that have grown up already a bit this year. You talk to both these staffs, and yes, while it's freshman next to their name, and it's certainly not what their expectation is.
Swing and a miss from Jackson Vanderbrake for strike 1. Well, how important is it, especially for Arizona, when you think about their 2 starters so far? Kramkowski went an inning and a third, and Garazar went an inning yesterday. They just have not been getting any length from their starter so far in the Super Regional. So there's a lot of pressure on Smith Bailey to try to go deep here.
Yeah, it's ironic you say that, and for people that are just seeing Smith Bailey for the first time, that pink glove that he wears, as you get a look at Chip Hale taking it in, he wanted to kind of just be himself, and he knew that no one else would wear one, at least a pink glove. You'd think just, all right, who else is going to have this crazy idea to do it? So it just allows him mentally to be himself. That was a big, part of his mental makeup, and he has proven it on the field in earning this start as well.
Freshman from Peoria. Throws a ball. Now, you mentioned big seeds, and it's sewn onto his mitt there. Where does that come from, big seeds?
Always had a pocket full of seeds, apparently, when he played Little League. He was 7 or 8 years old, and all of a sudden, as we usually do through puberty, we hit a growth spurt. And so he shot up to where he is, 6'4" now, and his teammates just said, well, forget the regular seeds. We're just calling you big seeds.
So he was originally seeds, and now he's up to big seeds.
Yep, he has graduated. And boy, big moments early for him in this winner take all start.
You get a win here today. We'll have to upgrade from big to something else. Vanderbrake strikes out. He has been tough to retire for these Arizona pitchers in this super regional. 7 walks so far, but Bailey gets them 2 down.
You love the execution right here, and already kind of an early window into how Guzman wants to sequence this top of the order. Very aggressive, both sides of the plate, and they will need it, especially to this part of the Carolina order.
Strikeout number 73 on the season and 78 innings of work for big seeds. And here is Luke Stevenson. Breaking ball in there for strike 1. Stevenson's had some big moments, but overall it's been a struggle at the plate, hitting 160 in the NCAA tournament. 3 for 10, though, in this super. He was 1 for 15 in the Chapel Hill Regional.
I'll tell you, Smith Bailey just looking like a grizzled veteran out there, just filling up the strike zone. Good life on the fastball and great location this far.
The 0-2. High fly ball to shallow right field. Summerhill coming on, calling for it. And he puts it away to retire the side. So both freshmen. To the right side, diving play by Stokely. Tosses to Lynch covering. Good play at first, 1 down.
Oh, someone who likes some good defense. Mr. Belichick couldn't get it.
Here's Maddox Mikalakis, junior third baseman, 283 on the season. 5 home runs, 35 runs batted in, 5 for 20 in the NCAA tournament with a couple of home runs.
3 massive RBI yesterday. Led the Wildcats and in 2 of the biggest situations for them late in that ball game. His hits, part of the 2-out RBI onslaught that allowed the Wildcats to not only reclaim the lead, be able to extend it as well.
All 3 of his RBI, as you point out, came with 2 outs, and as we mentioned before, 7 of the 10 runs were scored with 2 outs, 6 RBI, and he also scored on a wild pitch. So Chip Hale's team did a great job of flushing what happened here Friday. He used that term over and over again. It's one we used during the game Friday when they were down 18-2 and ended up losing by that score. It's out of play.
What a difference a day made, right? Jake Knapp, who we even kind of highlighted, not his best stuff. You had 7-8 hits off the ACC Pitcher of the Year and just unable to come up with the big hits with runners in scoring position. But boy, did they capitalize on those spots in a big way yesterday.
Knapp, the win on Friday, pitched into the 8-7 innings, gave up those 9 hits, couple of earned runs through 101 pitches. 2-2. 3-2 to Mikalakis.
That man does have his nails on today.
And that's baseball vernacular for he's wearing his cleats, which means he's ready to go if needed. All hands on deck is a phrase you'll hear time and again in these game 3s, and it fits. That's a blooper to right. Tyson Bass is under it, and he's got it for the out. Actually, pregame went down the dugout and talked to Jake, just thanked him because he joined us in game yesterday. Great kid to talk to. You know, he was down there and very, just a gentleman, just a great kid, and from Greensboro. And as he's walking away, you hear the clip clop, the familiar sound of and somebody in the dugout said he usually wears tennis shoes if he's not intending to pitch or available to pitch. So he had his, as you say, his nails on.
I would think too today, just knowing where both these respective pitching staffs are, it's just inning to inning for both these head coaches. They'll read and react, but good early returns for Scott Forbes on Ryan Lynch so far.
That's out of play, and it's 1-1 to Garen Caulfield, senior second baseman. 2 for 5 with a run scored yesterday. 262 on the season, 3 for 8 in the Super. One and two to Caulfield.
One of 6 Wildcats with a multi-hit effort yesterday. As you see, Smith Bailey just staying loose, keeping the mind at ease. Ryan Lynch showing no ill effects, just coming right after this Arizona lineup early.
This is heading down the line, hit well, and it is gone. On a 1-2 pitch with 2 outs, Arizona comes through with the game's first run. Caulfield's 8th of the season, 1-0 Wildcats.
A call on me, youngster. How about that one? Behind in the count and got too much of the plate, just dropped the hands and got the big part of the barrel. And 2-out magic yet again for the Wildcat offense. They get the first run of this ball game, 1-0.
For the 3rd consecutive game, Arizona has a 1-0 lead in the Super Regional. This time, Caulfield comes through with the home run, his 8th hit of the NCAA tournament. So add that to the 7 runs scored with 2 outs yesterday. There's a 2-out run here today in this game 3.
Yesterday, 7 for 15 with 2 outs. Those 6 big runs batted in today already. Caulfield solo homer. Arizona 21-9 after yesterday when they score first. A little different atmosphere today, knowing that both teams win or go home scenarios.
Fly ball to Kepley in center field, who calls for it, comes on a little bit and puts it away for the out.
Fastball, slider, curve, and change. Be anywhere in those low to mid 90s as well.
Line shot, but right at the shortstop. Mason White grabs the liner off the bat of Gavin Gallagher. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 2nd.
And critical to Arizona's success yesterday was trying to keep the leadoff man off base, and already an opportunity to pitch longer than any Arizona starter here. Smith Bailey, 1 more out, and he'll have the most outs recorded by a starting pitcher for the Wildcats this Super Regional.
Kramkowski went an inning and a 1/3, so he got 4 outs. Bailey's got 4 outs as he faces Stokely.
We've seen more of the slider and the changeup to left-handers. Stokely, a big game 1, a monster 3-run homer for him early in that ball game.
Stokely's been a very good run producer in the NCAA tournament, 9 RBI total. Jensen mentioned the home run in game 1. There's a strike, it's 3-1.
I'll tell you, that's going to be something to watch here, and seeing where that strike zone, especially the outside corners for both these young pitchers, as situations tighten, will they get those calls, and how will the pitch presentation be from their catchers?
Stokely does work the walk, so he's aboard with 1 down here in the 2nd. I'll bring up Alex Madera, the shortstop. 8 for 24 in the NCAA tournament with 6 runs batted in. There has been excellent contact and production from the bottom half of this North Carolina lineup during the Supers and during the postseason. Ball 1.
Already you see a little bit of tightening here on both the inside and outside part of the plate. Something to monitor as we get deeper into this ball game for both pitching staffs.
Bailey losing command just a bit here, it would seem, in the 2nd inning. 2-0.
Also something emotionally, right? You know, young kids, this is the biggest outing of their collegiate careers, maybe even of their lives. And both head coaches, you know, potentially a masterclass here in not only managing their respective pitching staffs, but also the right time to go out and just kind of slow things down for both of these youngsters.
Including starters, Bailey is the 11th pitcher used by Arizona. Obviously, they had to go to Tony Pluta early yesterday. He threw a career-high 52 pitches, 2 1/3 innings, and picked up the win against North Carolina. 2-1.
What a performance by him yesterday.
Ball 3 to Madera.
You kind of tell Smith Bailey almost trying to place that breaking ball instead of staying through the mechanics here. And now for North Carolina, you kind of sense a little bit of issue with the command. Need to exercise some patience.
Another check on Stokely. Carolina is an aggressive team when it comes to base stealing. 95 successful steals on the season. They are 14 of 15 in the NCAA tournament, led by Kepley. Back-to-back walks issued by the freshman, first and second with one down for North Carolina.
Well, the man that had arguably the biggest blast for North Carolina yesterday strides to the plate. And potentially more.
Tyson Bass with 2 on. Jensen just told you about what he did with 2 on in the 7th yesterday. Lays off for ball 1. Ball 2, correction, 2-0.
It was not a fruitful opportunity. Runners in scoring position yesterday. Can that change early for Carolina?
It was in game 1. 3-0. Carolina was 392 with runners in scoring position in game 1. And now the pressure gets ramped up and the crowd will try to fuel it a bit against Smith Bailey. Who throws a strike.
If you're Tyson Bass, and probably just focused on the fastball, adjust to the off speed here. One pitch, one spot to try and do damage.
Back-to-back strikes.
Smith Bailey digging deep. Love to see it from the youngster here. Come all the way back. Got to be your best pitch, most conviction.
Out of play. Bailey's last start was against Cal Poly, game 3 of the Eugene Regional. Went 6, gave up 4 hits, no runs on Sunday. Arizona fans holding their breath for the moment. Ground ball could be 2. The flip to second to 1. The turn to first. They get the ground ball. They get out of the inning with the 6-4-3 double play.
Wow. What a job by the freshman. 3-0 count. Stays within it
during this postseason run.
And they are high above in those little stalls. Getting a bird's eye view of the action here at Bosch.
So they present those toys pregame as a little incentive, and you can see how everybody just goes crazy, and rightfully so. And then the presentation yesterday, Superman was presented yesterday too. Who else but Tony Pluta, the reliever who pitched like Superman, and Batman went to Brendan Summerhill for his performance yesterday. So the radio control truck, I mean, you talk about an elite prime ticket to try to play for here today.
Yeah, we talked to the man, Bruce Wayne, reincarnated as Tommy Splain as well after his big home run.
Splain with a swing and a miss. Strikeouts number 2 for Ryan Lynch. 1 down here in the 3rd.
Yeah, now if you're North Carolina, hey, you know, you take a little punch right there. Unable to cash in with the runners in scoring position, but you got to score 1 to win anyway. And so if you're Ryan Lynch, just come right back up, pick up your mates, get yourself a quick 1, 2, 3 inning, and get back to the bat rack.
Easton Breifogel at the plate with 1 down. Sophomore left fielder, 247 on the season. 5 home runs, including 1 in the NCAA tournament. Down the count 0-2.
We appreciate from Ryan Lynch here, just filling up the strike zone, just continuing to attack. Trying to be economical with the pitch count here, just knowing As you get deeper into this game, these pitches, these outs become so precious.
Back-to-back strikeouts here in the third for Lynch. 2 down.
Brian Lynch.
70 strikeouts now for Lynch on the season in 57 innings of work. Has had trouble with the bases on balls at times this season. 24 walks in those 54 innings of work. As a result, his whip is a 1.2.
Today, pretty on point with the heater for sure.
Got that great movement too at 94, 0-2.
Telling you, that's the toughest thing for a hitter too. One of the themes was maintain plane, right? Be able to just allow yourself to let that fastball movement work to your advantage.
Little half swing. Stokely is there. He'll take it himself, but it's a 1-2-3 inning for Lynch on 10 pitches. We played 2.5 here.
And do the best we can.
And Coach, and Smith Bailey, I know it says freshman next to his name, but my gosh, does this kid pitch well beyond his years. Perfect example that last inning to get the inning double play. They call him Big Seeds. The boy's growing up right in front of your eyes.
No doubt, no doubt.
That one's hit well to right down the line, and a foul ball.
Thank God. I think 90% of the time I'm on this headset, there's a home run by the other team.
You know what, though?
It's an amazing,
the 10% though, like, just play for that 10% Chip, okay?
Yeah, that's it. Hey, we just flipped it right there.
There you go. Another thing from yesterday ties in today. Is everyone available? I mean, I see Tony Pluta throwing 52 pitches yesterday, but something tells me he put his spikes on for you here today.
Yeah, Kevin and John, they went with everybody, had them throw, see how they felt, and as we go on, they'll let me know. I'm sure Tony wants to pitch. We have to do what's best for his arm and his career. So if he has something in it, he'll probably be in there in the 9th.
Well, we wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
One final thing. I know this toy thing, I want to give you and your staff the credit for steering this team in the right direction. But at some point, these toys that your TJ Adams is presenting, there's got to be something quantifiable about that, right?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, every team, has their own identity. The bananas are still part of it. That was more last year, and now the toys have become a big part.
Okay. It's Christmas morning every day down that dugout.
That's great.
Hey, it worked out for you on this interview.
There you go. Thank you, guys.
All right, Chip, we appreciate it. Thank you. Close to a home run and ends up in a strikeout for Smith Bailey.
You just talk about the ability to adjust pitch to pitch, and showing not only that with pitch execution, and just being able to learn from it. You look at the down angle, and again, it's such a tall, lanky kid, and the release point, just releasing it so much closer to home. It kind of picks up that late life as it gets to the plate.
Strike one to Carter French. Longest start for a starter.
1 1/3.
Owen Kremkowski went 1 1/3, and Raul Garzar went 1.
Like I said, you get through the first 9 in the order, it's going to feel like you've thrown a complete game.
We talked about Tony Pluta yesterday and what he did. Ground ball foul. The back end of the bullpen with those 52 pitches. I think Casey Hintz is a guy who could get lost in the shuffle a little bit.
Yes.
But the season was on the line, and that second reliever used in the third pitcher of the day was outstanding for Arizona.
And ironically, we had Chip Hale there, and we wondered, did he wait a hitter too long?
Line drive time. Kepley from Salisbury, North Carolina, played at Liberty the last 2 years, has been in the leadoff spot every game for the Tar Heels. Takes a strike.
We'll talk about his speed and how difficult it is to double up when he's at the plate. He extended an inning or two with his wheels yesterday.
Back up the middle, it's a base hit. Holding at second is French. Kepley has his 5th hit of the Super Regional. North Carolina 2 on with 1 down a run in the 3rd.
Well, sensational job of just trying to stay up the middle. Carolina.
Vanderbrink struck out his first time. Take strike one. 1-1.
Been remarkable, his eye at the plate. And we highlight the 7 walks throughout the first 2 games. But man, it just feels, for you Matrix fans out there, he just feels like Neo with the strike zone. He's just seeing everything in slow motion. Nothing really phases him whatsoever.
That'll be out of play, and it's 1-2 to Vanderbrink, co-captain for this team for a second year from Yakima, Washington. Had a big postseason home run against LSU last year in the regional rounds. Good in the ACC tournament. Championship for North Carolina, taking on the Big 12 tournament champions here in the Chapel Hill Regional. This is a line shot to left, and it is hit well, and it is gone! Vanderbrink, 3-run shot, Carolina on top.
Well, it was a bass bomb yesterday for a 3-pointer, and it's a breakneck ball that clears the left field fence with a vapor trail behind it. Another 3-run lead-changing homer for the Tar Heel offense. 3-1 North Carolina now in the bottom of the 3rd.
Number 8 on the season for Vanderbrink. 14th home run of the NCAA tournament for North Carolina and 7th in this Super. 346-foot line shot. And it's 3-1. Stevenson fouls it off for strike 1.
On the screws. My goodness, loud noise is incoming into left field. But he knew it too.
Running hard until he was sure, because that thing was hit so hard you wondered if it was just going to kind of dip down before it got to the fence, but nope. It carried. Stevenson into the shift. Caulfield out in right field. On displaying. 2 down.
Yet again, the veteran nature of this Carolina attack has come through with flying colors. It was the senior Bass yesterday with a big blast. It's Vanderbrink today. And that man got to be happy, Scott Forbes, about the resiliency of his offense. Early opportunity, they couldn't cash in the 2nd inning. They make good on it here in the 3rd.
Talked about the 7 home runs. 5 of the home runs have come with 2 on. That's a high fly ball, shallow left field. Shortstop moves out. Mason White calls for it, and he's got it. And that,
what would you say? And they all say we freaking want to play in it. So that's what I.
Scott, you go back to 2013, the last time you guys have had to get into the winner-take-all scenario. In the Super Regional here at the Bosch. And boy, what a trump card you had left there with Ryan Lynch. I know I asked you pregame just kind of where you felt as a staff. What have you liked from your starter thus far, and then who else is ready to go for you?
Yeah, we've got the whole stable ready. Obviously, a lot of guys threw early and told me how they felt. Everybody's available, honestly, but 2 really good freshmen out there right now, and that's just so good to see in college baseball.
yeah, I saw Jake Knapp walking around in cleats. There's your game 1 starter. I guess you have a team
Catch this ball, Stoke.
Yeah, he got it. He gets everything over there.
Yeah, Jay's got cleats on today, man. I owe it to that dude to do what he wants to do, but we'll monitor it and go pitch to pitch. But how about this crowd? So thankful for that, too, here at our stadium.
They've been into it. Weather's cooperating, and we appreciate the hospitality during these 3 games from you, your staff, and everybody here at Carolina.
Yeah, so thankful and blessed just to be a part of it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Scott Forbes trying to get his team back to Omaha for a 2nd consecutive year. Bolton retired, and here is Mason White.
Well, big shutdown inning now. Ryan Lynch, here you go. Multi-run lead. First priority, get that leadoff man retired.
Smith slams his back down in frustration, although he may reach base because there's a little delay, but getting there in time as Carter French had left. 2 down.
Yeah, he did not see that right off the bat. The guy who is seeing
Belichick is signing
the ball
baseballs instead of footballs.
Yes.
Does he write down all the Super Bowl championship years?
I think that's a play call. Right there.
No, he would not. He would not be writing down a play call.
Oh, he'd
full sight of. Yeah, no,
it would be a deke. He'd be like, all right, here you go.
I'm a new. Where's the hoodie? Come on, Bill.
Not in this heat.
I don't know. Usually goes sleeveless in this heat. Sleeveless hoodie.
You know what he probably wrote on there? We're on to TCU.
He was here yesterday, as Jensen mentioned. Got a front row seat to watch the baseball team at his new employer in North Carolina playing here in the Super Regional.
Pretty unique location, right, for our stadium here. For people that haven't been down, to get the practice facility, the indoor-outdoor spot
for football right behind us. Yeah, home plate.
Very cozy down here. I saw some social media saying the Bosch, the Augusta National of college baseball.
1-2 to count to Guzman, who was robbed of a hit by Stokely his first time. Not back-to-back and belly-to-belly on top of the Karen Shelton Stadium stands, but it is not quite 1 o'clock on a Sunday, so that would be the late arriving crowd out there on those bleachers out there. You know what I mean.
North Carolina faithful headed to church to say a few.
The Arizona fans checking out the scene from the top of the bleachers out there beyond right field. 2-2 to Guzman.
Tell you what, this kid, Adonis Guzman, has had himself a heck of a Super Regional, not only at the plate, behind the dish as well. What a great player. Junior that has really been such a leader for this club. His at-bats have been phenomenal.
5 for 7 in the Super Regional. And he has another good at-bat going here. 3-2 now the count.
Took up,
falling behind 0-2.
Took a tick up there in adrenaline from Ryan Lynch. 96 on the heater.
This is the mark. 2-out walk to Guzman. Keep in mind, this is when Arizona has done its best work with nothing really happening in 2 outs. Chip Hale talked a little bit about that yesterday after the game. It's like sometimes with pitchers and teams, and he said not just college baseball, but Major League Baseball, you get 2 outs, things are flowing, and then all of a sudden it just takes a little thing, and then you start to press a little bit. So let's see how Lynch handles it after giving up a walk for right now, a little thing, but it extends the inning. Inning should end here. Bass will give way to the center fielder, Kepley. And that's it for Michalakis in Arizona here in the top.
That believes that he is immune to anything around him. It is Mr. Doyle, to say the least.
Tennessee season on the line. He'll be scheduled to be on the mound. That's 3 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN. After Arkansas won 4-3 yesterday in an electric atmosphere down at Fayetteville. 0-2 to Stokely. Ground ball foul. Louisville, Miami, much like the situation we have here today. Florida State, Oregon State as well. Game 3s. Louisville, Miami playing up the road, and Durham playing in Louisville rather. Duke and Murray State playing up the road at Duke after Duke won Game 1. Oregon State, Florida State tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern, ESPN2. Seminoles got the win yesterday, 3-1. Stokely down on strikes. 1 away.
And Smith Bailey again, he really has done a great job of being able to change eye level with the fastball. And this one just upstairs. Stokely comes out of his approach, chases high. Still remarkable poise. You give up the 3-run home run, you always want to see how your young pups react. And you know, for a kid that they call big seeds, already a foundation for him to build off of.
Fouled off by Madera, who walked his first time.
I was thinking of a comp for him just because of how long his levers are, just the arm side and his throwing arm. It gives me some Charlie Nagy vibes.
Popped up, foul ground, will reach the stands. Well, since giving up that home run to Vanderbeek, 9 pitches, all for strikes from Smith Bailey. A couple have been out of the zone, but fouled off by North Carolina, as you just mentioned. Stokely chasing. Another strike thrown. This is foul. This is for a ball, 1-2.
You still like the setup. I really appreciate the sequencing right now that Guzman and Smith Bailey have been going after these Carolina hitters with.
2-2.
And Madera, another senior in this lineup, 4 of them in the starting lineup, that just continues to show you the veteran nature and the ability to stay within what he's trying to do.
Line shot, base hit. Madera with his 4th hit of the Super Regional, 9th hit of the NCAA tournament. He's aboard with 1 down here in the 4th.
Just a simple swing, kept everything short, stayed on it a long time, and executes. Just a blistering single right up the middle. That is beautiful mechanics. And even with the shift, plenty of exit velo to get that one into center field.
Check on the runner, Madera.
It'll be pitch number 60 here for Smith Bailey, and to this point, Eric, I think if you're Chip Hale, you have to be just elated with how he's handled the moment. He's gotten back up off the mat after the 3-run home run. He's gotten back into the strike zone, and most importantly, he's provided you length thus far, which you have not had in the previous 2 games.
Swing and a miss by Bass for strike 1. Carolina was threatening in the 2nd inning. 1st and 2nd, Bass was at the plate, and Bailey got the ground ball. White, Caulfield, and Splain, 6-4-3 double play, ended the inning and the threat. Fly ball to right. Summerhill now drifting to his left. 2 down here in the 4th inning. The NCAA Men's College World Series in Omaha begins Friday, the 46th consecutive year on ESPN. The finals begin June 21st. For more information, go to NCAA.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships.
Could be an ACC party out there if things break their way. Carolina able to find a way to win this one. Florida State, winner-take-all game later tonight. And of course, the winner of Miami and Louisville will head to Omaha.
Check on Madera. He is a threat to run. 13 of 14 this season. $14 steals in the NCAA tournament for North Carolina. Just 1 for Arizona in 2 attempts. Giving an idea, contrasting styles for these teams.
Yeah, interesting too, because Smith Bailey actually a pretty good time to home plate here, and knowing that you have Guzman with the bazooka behind home plate. If you're Carolina, you're going to be very, very particular when you want to go, especially with 2 outs.
One to 1. Bailey is concerned with Madera at first. Arizona scored in the 2nd. Carolina answered back with a 3-run home run from Vanderbeek in the 3rd. Out of play.
finding ways to try and keep Carolina off balance. Smith-Bailey has been pretty solid to this point. Angelo, though, again, we know the quick strike ability. One mistake, and he can put it over the wall.
1-2 the count now to Angelo. 3 of the 4 hits for North Carolina have come on 2 strike counts.
Leaving a little dangerously right there. Save Angelo, you talk about the way that he started coming into this tournament. It was about a 218 average, and then all of a sudden has just caught real fire here, and that has provided such a boost to the bottom of this Carolina lineup.
Line to right. Summerhill has a beat on it, and he puts it away to retire the side. We've played 4 here at Chapel Hill. Winner take all. Spot in Omaha on the line.
And Ryan Lynch forcing some weak contact in the first 3 pitches of ABs. Exactly what Scott Forbes needed. He needed length. He needed efficiency. He has gotten that from his freshman starter thus far.
Lynch gave up the home run to Caulfield for the Arizona run. When you think about his 2 starts, his first career start was against Clemson. ACC tournament championship game. He went 4 innings in that game, gave up a couple of hits, no runs, couple of walks, 7 strikeouts, but threw 83 pitches in those 4 innings. You see he's working into the 5th now. Start number 2, season on the line. Oklahoma here Monday nights in the game 7. 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, 82 pitches. So you can get an idea how efficient he has been here today with those 52 pitches thrown. This is hit well into the gap, but moving over, making the dive, unable to get it, is Tyson Bass. Backed up nicely by Kepley. The throw is cut off, and sliding in safely with a 1-out double is Andrew Kane here in the 5th.
Oh, man. This would have been an easy top 10 SportsCenter nominee. What a sellout effort here in the best possible way from Tyson Bass. I mean, nearly coming up with this. I mean, look how far he's got to go. The fact he even gets into it is amazing, and just right off the end of the glove. And they still had a chance to get Kane at second of the relay if they may have let that one go through. But life for Arizona now with the tying run at the plate.
Tommy Splain at the plate. Swing and a miss. We talked to Chip Hale this week about the lineup construction for this Arizona team. He just loves Splain down there because he's been such a clutch performer. And think about how good he's been in that 8th spot in the NCAA tournament. 526 entering play here today. 10 for 19 before the strikeout in the 3rd. Line shot foul. He's down to the count 0-2.
Much in the same way that this Arizona staff talked about the poise of the young freshman and Smith-Bailey, the same was said about this man at the plate, Tommy Splain. Just, you'll never know if he's punched out 3 times or if he's got 3 hits. He's the same dude every single day.
1-2.
What a bomb that he hit yesterday, right? You want to talk about a huge answer, a way to pick up your ball club and infuse massive momentum. That one of 3 he's had in his last 17 ABs.
7-game hitting streak for Splain. Down to the count 1-2. Strikes out for a 2nd time against Lynch. 2 down.
Well, you get best on best. Most of the time, the pitching is going to win. And with the late movement here, man, this is nastiness from Ryan Lynch. Right into the living room. 4th strikeout of the day, but more importantly, big 2nd out of this inning.
Easton Breifogel with 2 down, and Kane at 2nd takes strike 1. Breifogel struck out in the 3rd inning. Ground ball, but right at Vandenberg at 2nd, and works out of the jam by getting the strikeout and the ground ball. And North Carolina is up by 2 after 4.5.
Omaha.
Carter French to lead things off. Singled his first time up and scored on the Vandenbrink 3-run shot. 67 pitches now thrown by Smith Bailey. We've talked about both freshman starters. Bailey is a guy who can go deep into a game, and if he keeps it right here, you would expect to see him out there in the 90-pitch range. Went for 91 pitches last time out, 88 the time before, 98 and 96 the 2 appearances prior to that. That is off the bag, but it was off the double bag, the green bag, so it is a foul ball.
Slimmest of margins. Gonna see where this one hits.
If it hits the white bag, it's a fair ball. But if it hits the green bag, which is the runner's bag, the safety bag, if you will, it's a foul ball.
Right there, just, oh. You get 1,000 swings, there's no way you can do that again.
Wilson Rayner, the first base umpire, on top of it. There's a strike. 2-2 now to Carter French.
You bring it to pitch count here for Smith Bailey, right? 71st pitch about to be thrown. Bears repeating about the workload that Casey Hintz had yesterday. 51 pitches in 3 1/3.
You would think for pitchers like Hintz, even Pluto, we talked about Chip Hale about it earlier, you can't count on a lot from them, but maybe a situational moment for them. I mean, think about it. When you were pitching at Vanderbilt, if you pitched on a Friday, right, what would you be doing on a Sunday 2 days later?
Yeah, technically as a starter it would be your side day if you have that day. If you like to throw 2 sides during a week, and traditionally if you're the Friday starter, then Sunday would be your day on the mound.
So that would be a conversation point for our Game 1 starters. Gronkowski for Arizona, Knapp for North Carolina, even though Knapp threw 101 pitches, but we mentioned he's wearing his cleats today, so he's ready to go. There is Jake, Game 1 winner, and it's a leadoff walk for Carter French. He's aboard to start things here in the 5th inning. Game 2 of the NBA Finals tonight, 8 Eastern time on ABC, ESPN Deportes, ESPN Radio. The Pacers somehow wiggled out a Game 1 win because they've got Tyrese Halliburton. Pacers led for all of 0.3 of a second in Game 1 because of Tyrese Halliburton. You'll see Game 2 coming up tonight. Coverage tips with NBA Countdown, 7:30 Eastern time.
People saying, what the hally happened there? If you were a Thunder fan, they'll need to get the equalizer tonight before going back to Bankers Life Fieldhouse for Game 3.
A lot of people have seen that before. Most recently, the Knicks in Game 1.
My Cavaliers, oh gosh. Oh. Couple of daggers in that series.
Kepley singled and scored in the 3rd. He's 1 for 2 today. 1-1.
Kind of back to put an idea out there for people. You mentioned Gronkowski. Only 36 pitches for him on Friday, so theoretically, if you need someone to give you some length, and that's why I brought up Hintz with the 51 pitches, is if he's limited maybe to an inning, maybe a cleanup of an inning, and then another one, you just cannot expect maybe more than one from both Hintz and Pluto today.
1-2 to Kepley.
So logically, Eric, you would think if anyone is stretched out enough like that, and remember that Garrett Hicks also threw 40 pitches yesterday in 2 1/3. So 2 leverage relievers, including, just put it in 3, Pluto your closer. So you're gonna, if you have to find multiple outs somewhere else, Gronkowski could certainly be a candidate.
Well, day 1, Hilker pitched an inning in 2/3, didn't give up a hit or run. A couple of strikeouts. Martinez, McKinney, Orloff, McKnight were those pitchers used. We didn't see them yesterday. So there are arms available in the bullpen. Kepley lays off. It's 2-2. But right now the starters getting it done on both sides. The 2 freshmen.
And conversely, if you're Carolina right now, remember Walker McDuffie threw 38 pitches, only getting 2 outs yesterday.
Kepley with a fly ball to left center, and it's Walton who moves over to cut in front of Breifogel. 1 away.
If he had his turn signal on there.
I would not want to get in the way of Aaron Walton tracking a fly ball.
About as good as we've got in the business. 2 just highlight reel catches in game 1. 1 taking away extra bases, 1 taking away a multi-run home run. What a sensation he's been to watch in this Super Regional.
1 out for Jackson Vanderbeek.
Well, Vanderbeek, the difference in the ball game right now. Laser beam home run. It just had enough to stay up over the left field fence. He's pumped. He should be the 5th 3-run homer by Carolina's offense this weekend.
One. Vanderbeek struck out looking in the first, hit that home run, his 8th of the season in the 3rd to put North Carolina in front. Winner on to Omaha. One and 2.
Good action in that Wildcat bullpen. As you see 49, Julian Tangini, excuse me, getting ready. He was up yesterday too, did not get in the ball game.
Vanderbeek tried to hold up, could not. Strikeout number 4 for Bailey. 2 down.
And that is a massive 1-2 for Smith Bailey. Just showing some incredible resolve right now. Look at that slider off the top. No way for Vanderbeek to put the E-brake on and hold up that swing. Yet again, the freshman just growing up right before your eyes, showing he can handle the moment and make some serious pressure pitches right now.
Luke Stevenson at the plate with 2 down. Both pitchers, both starters have given their teams, their head coaches, more than enough.
All you could want. Yep. All you could want. Get into the 5th. Give me an opportunity to at least have a decision to make instead of, well, I got to go find length to be able to even get us through.
1-1.
Ryan Lynch, and you're right there. 5 scintillating innings thus far, just the 1 earned run. And Smith Bailey, just the 1 swing from Vanderbeek.
Stevenson with a fly ball to the center fielder. Walton is under it. And he's got it to retire the side. 2 freshmen have pitched well through.